It is a sad thing that bullies pick on the weak, pick on the vulnerable, pick on the people who are sensitive. It is true that bullies generally throw names at their victims that they should actually have thrown at themselves, and they are actually technically doing that to themselves. They're self-hypnotizing themselves, and actually they are practicing the things that they preach other people shouldn't do in general. And so bullies, in my opinion, have to be worked on and not ignored. So rest assured that in the new year I will be tackling, rugby tackling probably, virtually, many bullies that are online, because I plan on having a task force, an internet task force. Yes, taking it into the 22nd century is where we need to go in terms of stepping up, gearing up towards a better future, having more positivity, more encouragement, more support for people, less attacking others, less judging others, less of this my daddy's bigger than your daddy business. And really I think there's a lot of aggression out there, yes. There's always been a lot of aggression, there always will be a lot of aggression, but it's how to channel the aggression so that you don't end up harming, hurting or insulting another person too much. It's fine to do it occasionally, but then when you're doing it as like it becoming a job, then you're really going to be wasting your time, and not only wasting your time, but you're deteriorating your own health, mental health, whilst you're deteriorating the other person's mental health with your bully tactics. Now, most bullies are not aware that they are being bullies, so that's another issue. How do we get the bullies to recognize and to admit that they're being a bully? Now, a bully really is somebody who goes after somebody else to continually threaten them or make them feel uncomfortable or kill them altogether. That's what a bully wants. I question to bullies though, in your own true hearts, bullies, do you truly feel that pushing someone to the ends of their ropes to the point of them jumping off the next available cliff, do you feel horrible? Do you feel regretful? Do you feel guilty? Do you feel any type of emotion of regret? When you sleep at night, do you think, yes, that was great, I really enjoyed watching that person suffer? Or do you sleep at night thinking, oh, I'm glad that's not me. God, I'm glad that's not me. But if it was me, I'd kill them. Is that your mentality? That's what I'd like to know. Yeah, bullies are rampant in a school playground globally, all over the world, and they continue to essentially win through a school system. So it only goes to show why they can breed and continue to make other people feel or make other people have problems with breathing. Note my wordplay there with breathing and breeding. But bullies really breed themselves. I mean, they all they need is one other person to agree with their bully tactics, and that's enough. That they've got a partnership. They can go with that. They can make a job out of it because you're getting support from one person. Do you see, bullies, about the point of support? You see, you're getting supported by one other person, and you feel a team now, and you feel strong enough because you've got support from at least one other person. So you feel that your bully tactics are absolutely justified because you've got the support. Now let me give you the example what I'm trying to compare here. If you give support on a more positive level, support of like, hey, you go for it, you be you, try and be you. Or if you don't like somebody's attitude, just say, hey, listen man, I really don't think that's good for you, maybe you shouldn't talk like that, why don't you try and talk like this? That's also support. Again, these are examples of loads of different types of personalities. I mean, you don't have to like a person to support them to be the better person that you think they could be, and that's support as well. So bullies who have support from at least one other person who is a technical supporter of a bully, you can get supported, and you get supported sometimes by other people, and you understand that without that support you would be nothing. Or not that you would be nothing, excuse me, sorry, I'd edit that out if I would edit, but I don't, so I'm editing it out now. Basically you now see there's no more blank head. Yes, the support point, that you bullies are getting supported by at least one other person. And imagine to yourselves, if you could imagine, just could I grab your attention just for 2 minutes, just for you to really concentrate on my vibe here, what I'm trying to say, that if you could just channel your support in a more positive way, if you could realize that encouragement and support is necessary, just as you have your support bullies of at least one other person that says, yes, brilliant, attack, attack, attack. It's like your soldier, your foot soldier, or it could be your sergeant major. But your support is important, isn't it, bully? And this is going to all bullies in the world. This is not to one person. There are many bullies out there. Yeah, so you've got your support. Imagine if you just changed your head, like switched and fine-tuned your own brain, and breathed and realized yourself who you are and what you're saying, especially when you're on bully mode, when you click the switch and you're in bully mode. If you could click the switch and just be a bit more conscious as well, instead of clicking the switch and being completely unconscious, obviously, of what you're doing and what you're saying to other people, and especially other people that you generally don't know. Most bullies don't know the person they're bullying, like on the inside and outside level. The bully only presumes to know. That's why the bully feels that they can go and prod around. It's not completely true. There's too many dynamics there on the bullying issue and the victim issue. And one of the greatest points of me having gotten bullied for most of my life in the early years, not the last 12 years, but the last maybe year, yeah. I'm back in there's a bully thing going on here at the moment. And but because I got bullied for so long, I've become an expert in dealing with people on a physical reality situation level, not on an internet level. It's impossible to do it on an internet level so far for me, but that's where I'm going. That's another area, is to take bullies down by rugby tackling them in virtual reality. But not rugby tackle, remember, is a sport. When somebody rugby tackles somebody, they're not taking them down to break their nose, they're just taking them down to take the ball. Yeah, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. Me and many other people, but I think I'm going to be starting it. I don't see anybody else starting it, so I'm going to start this bully task force, because it has to happen. There has to be internet judges and internet police, because there are enough bullies that are essential virtual murderers. Virtual murderers is what I'll title this video. And there's too many bullies going around, and they need to be tackled, and they can't be ignored, because bullies love it being ignored, because they don't ignore you. You see, you can ignore them, you say you're ignoring them, but actually if they are conniving enough, they are going to use mediums that you know, in the virtual world you can't escape. In the reality world, you'd have the police called on them, you'd have a barring order against them, you know, and you might, you know, send, you know, or at least go to the person's house with a couple of big friends and confront them and say, are you going to lay off, or do you need talking to in another manner? Not from me, of course, because I am peace and party, you see, and I am truthfully peaceful, and I don't start fights. Okay, ciao. Peace, of course.